The sale of pills are at an all-time high. Young folks walking around with their heads in the sky. Cities aflame in the summertime.
And all the beat goes on. Well.
Hide and Seek TV. I'm about to get ready to do a very deep breakdown concerning the whole sense of, the drug game that was going on back in the 80s. I'm actually going to do a part 2 on this as well, version it off into the gangster rap. But basically what I want you to really pay attention to, as we can see on the far left, Pablo Escobar raising his right hand. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to delve real deep into this, because when you really pay attention to that, I mean, you obviously can see where I'm going with this. And he has many photos doing nothing but Masonic hand symbols. You know what I'm saying? The hand behind the back, which is a known one as well. And I really want to tap into this because it's going to be a very deep breakdown, because I really want to show everyone already know about how the government basically was funding, you know, the whole aspect of with the drugs and everything. You know what I'm saying? We already know about all of this. We all seen the movies, we all know the stories, the tales and everything. But when you understand the aspect, is how you already know Colombia was where the cocaine came from, you know what I'm saying? And when you know about Colombia, what's so big is how when Colombia, you know, during the time of the 80s with the drug game and everything going on, remember how California ended up getting the crack cocaine. And if you notice, you know, about Colombia, which is nothing but the mother goddess, aka Ishtar, Ayana, and another one of her names in the Hindu is Kali. You know what I'm saying? So I'm about to delve real deep into this because it's a very deep aspect, and I'm actually gonna be playing clips as well to further elaborate on my point. How all of this was literally just like a big role played out before our eyes. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to play a clip and I'm going to chime in.
And ultimately, those investigations confirmed not only everything we'd already reported, but went far beyond it and showed categorically that the Contras were involved in the cocaine trade starting in 1980, all the way through the decade, and that the CIA was well aware of it, had much reporting on it, knew many of the key people in the Contra movement were tainted by the drugs, and that they steered the DEA and other investigators away from this truth. So the CIA itself, by 1998, had come out and confessed.
You know what I'm saying? We all know about this. But as you already know about the Contras, was nothing but like the, excuse me, I gotta pronounce it, but the Nicaraguan, I forgot you said, but basically I'm gonna keep it rolling. But basically anyway, they was nothing but they were funded by the whole Reagan administration. You know what I'm saying? We already know about this. They were funded by the whole Reagan administration. You know what I'm saying? And this stuff right here is literally a deep thing, because what I noticed, we already know how the CIA and everything already had you know, confessed on basically bringing the drugs and everything and funding the whole drug aspect. You know what I'm saying? And when you know about Barry Seal too, he was the one helping import the drugs from Colombia to America. You know what I'm saying? He was working for the DEA, and he was working for Pablo Escobar. You know what I'm saying? And this stuff is so deep because when you know about Ronald Reagan, how he literally was president during the time. Remember, Reagan was an actor. You know what I'm saying? He was an actor. And we already know like about Fidel Castro and Pablo Escobar connection. Fidel Castro was an actor on an old Latin film back in the 40s, I believe. I think it was the 40s. He was an actor. You know what I'm saying? Like, this stuff is crazy. You know, these people literally play a big movie before our eyes. You get what I'm saying? And going back to the whole aspect of Colombia, When you understand, like I said about the goddess Columbia and how her name was Kali as well to the Hindus, hint that how California literally received crack cocaine from Colombia. You know what I'm saying? And when you understand about Harlem as well, because Harlem, all Harlem means is literally nothing but the wooded city on top of, well, the city on top of the wooded hill. You know what I mean? And you already know about this the scriptures, the cities that sit upon the hills, but we already know as well how Israel and Jerusalem is already mentioned as the city, the highest city on top of the hill. You get what I'm saying? Like this stuff is deep stuff, man. Because what I noticed too, when you look back at that era and what literally tripped me out as well is we already know how Ross, all of those drug dealers was literally working. Notice how all of them were informants and all of them were working like close with the agencies. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy because when you pay attention to that too, with Ricky Ross, um, that was a real big one right there because remember during the time with him, you know what I mean, with him working alongside with the DEA. You see it right on the show Snowfall. Everybody already knew the story about Ricky Ross. And like I said, I'm gonna do the hip hop on my sequel to this. But as you go into it too, remember Frank Lucas' cousin was in the military. Remember, he was working with the military. You know what I'm saying? Frank Lucas was working alongside the military to get his drugs over from Vietnam using military planes. Come on, man. Like it's literally all in our face, you know what I'm saying? And when you understand too, when you understand the whole aspect of cocaine, back in the time with the Greek gods and all of that, in the mythologies, they used to use a drug, well, it was like a food, my bad, a food where it would give them immortality and power. It was called the ambrosia. And what it was like it was a one of these agents, he had said that cocaine is literally nothing but the ambrosia of the gods. You know what I mean? He said it out his own mouth. You know what I'm saying? And that right there literally tripped me out because when you understand this, how this all was going on in the 80s, when you pay attention to the 80s, when you look at that, um, wide receivers, they literally, their numbers start from 80 to 89. And when you understand that, which is so deep because a wide receiver, if you understand antennas like wide band, it literally receive energy. You know what I'm saying? And crack cocaine literally it messes with the neurotransmitters inside of the brain. You know what I'm saying? And it literally have control over your brain transmitters. And like I just said, how wide receivers pay attention to that. Wide receivers literally their numbers range from 80 to 89. Hint the whole aspect of the receiving, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Plus it's wide anyway, because when you think of that, that's in the sense of receiving full energy. You get where I'm going with this. That's how deep, that's just why all of the elite agencies like CIA, DEA, and everyone was over the drugs. You get where I'm going with this. This stuff is no joke because hint the whole aspect of like it taking place in the 1900s, aka 1980. And I just showed you about the wide receivers. When you understand the clock, you know what I'm saying? When you understand the clock in military time, 19 literally converts over to 7 p.m. And when you look at that, as you see, you have 7 right here. And then look at this. You get what I'm saying? It's like the 7 would be like literally like on the side of the mouth. You get where I'm going? Kind of like the jawline. You feel where I'm saying with this? Like this stuff is deep. Like literally like the jawline of the Baphomet. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna tap into the theme of the whole paid in full. And when I heard this, I'm gonna play the clip and then I'm gonna chime in because this right here it was just something very fishy with the whole dude, Ace Boogie, aka AZ Faison.
I've been hustling all my life, ain't nobody give me jack. That's why I hustle so hard. But my crew out here don't nobody make any money. I got the best crack in the city. My crack is butter. Can't nobody cook like me. I can turn 1 kilo into 2 when I cook it. The coke is that good," said Rich Porter. "Eat and let eat, man. Everybody got eat," said AZ. "Nah, forget that. Good guys always finish last day. I'm not trying to be doing this forever," said Rich Porter. That was AZ last time talking to Rich Porter. Days later, Rich Porter was found dead in the vicinity of Orchard Beach in the Bronx.
We all know about the whole aspect with ALPO killing Rich Porter, but like I said, I'm gonna chime in. I'm gonna let it keep playing.
He had been shot several times in the head and chest. Harlem was never the same. Just days later, AZ close friend Stan was murdered as well. Donnell was eventually killed and his body was found dismembered in garbage bags on January 28, 1990, a mile away.
The death in threes. You feel what I'm saying? Let's keep it rolling.
From where Rich's body was found, AZ continued rapping.
You see how AZ was a rapper at the time too, but like I said, I'm gonna keep this rolling.
Mob Style was close to signing a record deal with Sony. Unfortunately, they were never signed to a major record label.
Like, you hear that, how he was literally, you see how AZ's literally, I'm gonna play this right, show you something right quick, cause this is deep. But nothing but the Freemason's hand on the chin. Pay attention to this. And you see how they said that Rich Porter ended up dead after that was his last time speaking to AZ, aka Ace Boogie. And notice how Ace Boogie was the one to make it out, never went to jail, none of that. But I'm gonna keep it rolling, because this was during the time he was trying to sign a deal with Sony.
And had disappeared by the mid-90s. AZ would later go on to write a screenplay by the name of Trapped. It was sold. The Damon Dash CEO at the time of Rockefeller Records. And the Trapped screenplay became the classic 2002 film Paid in Full. AZ also collaborated with street documentarian.
Notice how that all ended up him getting involved with Damon Dash. Like, it's just, you gotta really pay attention to this. And I'm gonna let this man talk for himself. You know what I'm saying? This man talk. This is AZ Faison, aka Ace Boogie, you know, on Paid in Full for those who don't know.
I heard, but then again, I'm not very connected to this whole thing.
I don't know. I haven't seen him.
Okay. And you never try to reach out to him in prison or nothing? No.
We spoke.
You spoke?
We spoke a few times when he was locked up.
Really?
We spoke like twice.
And what was that conversation about?
The first conversation was, I'm trying to write a movie about this shit.
Okay.
And he told this girl I knew where he was at, and we met. We supposed to meet gave him the birds at a certain price, and whatever he said. But I'm like, okay, cool. But I'm trying to do a movie. That was my whole issue of speaking to him, because I didn't want to just write a movie and not, have him co-sign. He's like, all right, no problem, man.
Listen to this guy, man. Come on, man. Listen to these people. Like, come on. And then, Alpo, aka Rico, on the film Paid in Full, the real man, he was in witness protection, and all of a sudden he's riding around in Harlem on a motorcycle last year. Come on, man. Like, it don't even make sense. Playing Billie Jean, riding around on a motorcycle in Harlem, where, come on, man. Like, this stuff don't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, just come on. Like, and as you see, like I said, all of these people, especially, I ain't even delved into your boy, Wayne Perry too. What is so deep, he used to work with Alpo. They call him the Michael Jordan of the murder game. Look at him throwing up nothing but Masonic hand gestures. Come on, man. Look at that. Grip in the hand. Another one. All Masonic hand gestures. Come on, man. Like, it don't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. Grip in the hands. Well, that's not him right there, but pay attention to that. Like, it's all in our face. You know what I'm saying? And back then, too, remember a lot of them old gangsters used to be on the New York Times magazines. Come on, man. Look at that, doing nothing but the Masonic hand gestures. They don't even make sense, you know what I'm saying? Look at that. Masonic hand gestures. Like, come on, man. It's like all in our face, you know what I'm saying? Like the movie that these people play before our eyes. You feel where I'm going with this? Like, it don't even make sense. You know what I mean? But like I said, I'm gonna do a part 2 on this whole thing. I'm actually gonna do one on the gangster rap, and I'm gonna be breaking down Bobby Shmurda as well. But this stuff like this, like I said, this whole thing all goes back to the whole aspect of the Columbia. You know what I'm saying? And hint how Cali got the crack cocaine. You know what I mean? Because you see, that was one of her names for the Hindu, which represented Cali. Don't mean nothing but the goddess of death. You know what I'm saying? Goddess of destruction. And like I said, going back to the time of the Greek gods, you know what I mean? What they used to do in the mythologies, they'd eat the ambrosia and all the what was it? The agent I said literally said that cocaine ain't nothing but the ambrosia of the gods. So it's just like, come on, man. What are they really doing? You know what I mean? And I'm about to merge into it. Rayful Edmonds, like one of the richest drug dealers to ever operate in DC. And I'm gonna tap into this whole aspect. Play some clips and I'm gonna chime on in.
Brothers, brothers-in-law, and others were all in the family business with Edmund and are all serving time. His mother and sisters are together as a bat for his 56-year-old mother, who was sentenced to 24 years in prison for her role in Rayful's drug enterprise.
And hear that, 24 years. I'm going to play into this because 2 + 4 = 6, but I'm going to keep this rolling. And I'm going to tap and let you hear all of these codes in here.
That's my mom. And, you know, I love her, so, you know, when I miss her, you know,
look how he's
acting.
acting.
I hope she'd be okay.
I feel very honored. I mean, he has life or 2 life sentences, and he didn't think about himself. He thought about his mother.
Constance Bootsy Perry is the unlikely matriarch of Washington's most prominent crime family. Before she got locked up, she had a $40,000 a year job in the federal government.
Listen to that. Like, come on, man. You hear this? Listen to this.
Had a $40,000 a year job in the federal government.
So you got
Federal,
your kids educated, you made sure they went to church, you had a good job, your ex-husband had a good job.
Yeah, he had a job. He worked for the government, too.
He worked
Listen to that.
for the government. You were middle-class people.
Yeah,
He was not raised in the inner city. He lived in the suburbs. Safe place.
yeah.
How many of your children are in jail?
6.
You hear that? Like, they said she did 24 years. And you had, listen to this. And they said she got 6 kids. Listen.
You had 7 kids and 6 are in jail. You're in jail.
Listen to that. You know what I'm saying? And how both his parents work for the federal government. Come on, man. Let's just keep this rolling. I'm about to head back to ALPO, aka Rico, or Paid in Full. For some who are not familiar, everybody know about the movie Paid in Full. But I'm about to tap into this whole aspect even further. Listen to this.
I guess he feels better if he glorifies him, so. But let's keep it real now.
How'd they even get the idea that you killed Rich?
Huh?
How did they find out that you killed Rich?
I told them.
You told them?
I told him.
You told AZ?
Yeah, I told AZ I killed Rich.
Why'd you tell him?
I was on the phone talking to him, and I said, I know you want to know. Just like I said when I talked to certain people.
No, I'm saying, how did the police know?
Huh?
How did the police know?
The police?
Right.
I told them.
You told them too?
Yeah. I had to confess to all these murders and all that.
Oh.
You hear what I'm saying? This, like, come on, man. It's all just a big game, man. And as you see, look at that right there. Nothing but the Masonic hand gestures. You feel what I'm saying? And you see how he was an informant too, Rayful Edmond. You know what I mean? All of these guys all somehow end up going right back to them being either informants or having some type of connection with military or some type of connection with federal government somehow. Because they actually said too, I believe, excuse my typo for those who actually know, but I remember they were saying something about ALPO when he went to D.C. He was standing by the Federal Building. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I was talking about, when all the drugs and everything was coming from Colombia, you remember how D.C. was like D.C., New York, Miami, California, all those type of places. But like key, I'm really gonna chime in on Cali, New York, and D.C. As I was talking about with the whole aspect of Colombia representing nothing but the mother goddess. You get what I'm saying? AKA Ishtar, AKA the Babylonian goddess. Hence why it was like District of Columbia. You get where I'm going with this? The Columbia. Hint right back to that. And at that time, DC was like the murder capital. You know what I'm saying? And then when you look at New York, that's another form of the mother goddess. You know, Semiramis. You know what I'm saying? That all goes back to Columbia. You know what I mean by this? Like I'm talking like Callie. Remember when I was talking about how her name is Callie as well as one of her names? You know what I mean? Callie, aka the goddess of death. You feel what I'm saying? Like this stuff is deep, man. Like this stuff is all in our face. You know what I mean? This is Callie right here for those who don't know. This is her Hindu form. She represents destruction, sacrifice, and death. And you know what I mean? Like how you already know how you cook crack. Hint how like I was talking about the Greek gods, the food of the Greek gods, the ambrosia. You know what I mean? That was like considered the nectar of the gods. You know what I'm saying? And that was for their immortality, to sustain power. You get where I'm going with this. Hint when I was talking about the whole aspect of everything I've been talking about, the wide receiver aspect. You know what I mean? All of this stuff, man. This is why certain times have certain, elements of things going on. Like, you had this going on in like the 30s and 40s with like the heroin, the alcohol, all of that. It's all for the specific reason. You know what I mean? Because certain elements and everything, like I've been showing you about the clock and the military time with the connection. And just listen to this. This is just to add the drama and you know what I mean and everything and keep it all rolling. Just listen to this guy's talk.
In DC, so they're not out. They out, but 295 murders or something. Okay. So that was just she was one of the second girls we left on that highway. So we left her on the joint, and her blood and some of her brain was in the car. So we had to go over one of his baby mother's houses by the highway and clean the joint out. Y'all weren't afraid that the police would pull up while you're cleaning it out? The police thing is a little different in D.C. So they're not out. They out, but they're not seen like they are in New York. Okay. You know what I mean?
Just listen to these guys talk, man. Like just think about all of the stuff that we have endured through media. And how this literally affect reality too, because if all you need is the actor, you know what I mean? All of these people are tied in somehow. All you need is the actor, and you can let real people get hurt on a real stage. You get where I'm going with this? Like it's crazy. It's literally nothing but a world stage, and it's real people getting affected in this whole aspect. You know what I mean? The same ones who say that the same ones who gave you gangster rap gave you the crack cocaine. Come on, man. It's all an experiment of control. You know what I'm saying? But I'm actually going to end that right here. Thank you for watching Hide and Seek TV. Be ready for part 2. Much more is coming. Peace.